Hi, I'm Mike Gambardella, and welcome into the newest episode of Pat's Latest. We're officially in silly season for the NFL draft. We're just a week away from it all shaking down in Green Bay and the Patriots finally deciding what they are going to do at number 4. It will indeed hinge on what the Giants decide to do at 3 and potentially have a huge monkey wrench being thrown into the plans for both teams while Abdul gets his visit in Foxborough. Before we get into everything, make sure you go down and subscribe for our channel. Give us a like if you like what you hear, and get into the comments and let us know what you think are the best moves for the Patriots to make in both the first, second, and third days of the NFL draft. We start off with that big call for the New York Giants, and things consistently, if not inconsistently, swinging back and forth for what the Giants really want to do. At first, it seemed like a simple decision, really, of taking Shedeur Sanders, setting up their quarterback of the future, and moving on. Then the decisions to sign Russell Wilson, to decide to do that after bringing in Jameis Winston. Now you're really crowding a potential quarterback room should you decide to make that draft pick. So, with two top flight targets at the top of this draft, and Travis Hunter and Abdul, it seemed to make even more sense to just take whichever one of the two of them is left, with Cam Ward set to go number 1 overall to the Titans. Well, not so fast anymore. The Giants have now, surprisingly, as we talked about yesterday, announced that they are going to fly to Colorado on Thursday and have a final meet with Shedeur Sanders and his team. What this likely means is a large rift for the Giants right now, likely between ownership and the front office. We can't say which side is on which part of the fence, but one side clearly is ready to take Abdul or Travis Hunter, whichever one slides down to them, and then the other clearly saying we need to get an established young quarterback and put the franchise back on track. It didn't work out with Daniel Jones, and clearly the two quarterbacks that they brought in would be stopgap options. The Patriots could be the huge beneficiaries if the Giants do indeed decide to draft Shedeur Sanders. More than likely, what this means is that the Giants need to do their homework. They're also having meetings with Jalen Milroe, who did get that invite to the first round of the NFL draft and will be available at the back end of that first round, if not sliding to the second, as well as Louisville quarterback Tyler Show. So the Giants trying to line up where these guys rank and where they would need to get. I think Derek Carr's injury with the New Orleans Saints also means that Shedeur Sanders probably doesn't make it past 9. So if the Giants do decide, hey, we need to take the best available at 3 and we can trade back in for Shedeur Sanders, you probably need to get inside of 9 at the Saints if they want to make this happen. If the Saints somehow do pass, then they will at least have the homework done to make that happen. But the big thing here for the Patriots, if the meeting goes very, very well, and the ownership is fully on board with taking Shedeur Sanders at 3, it could be the best case scenario or that dream scenario, which we'll get into even further for the New England Patriots. The first part of that dream scenario is Abdul, who reportedly had an excellent visit with the New England Brass as they go through who is still available for them. And again, this isn't just the Patriots' due diligence. This is Abdul-Carter's agent, really, going through the steps, knowing that what is his floor. And the floor clearly is the New England Patriots. He will not make it past them at number 4. And you want to have these meetings, you know what you're getting into. And they wouldn't put New England on the books if they didn't think there was an absolute certainty that he was going to go to the Giants at 3. They now know Shedeur Sanders is a possibility, so you can't say without certainty that that could or couldn't happen. For Abdul with the Patriots, all reports is that it went well, and the team feels that they get a real good feel as who they is a person, in addition to all of his game film that's come out. And even Vrabel talked on Tuesday to the media and called him dynamic. The tape that he's put together has that wow factor, right? He additionally went on to say there's a lot of great qualities: disruptive pass rusher, very slippery, loose, and a sudden player. You're going to hear more and more about Abdul Carter. And again, I think it goes to show and speaks for itself, really, that the Patriots would want this player. And if unfortunately it wasn't for that Week 18 win against the Bills, they would be deciding right now between Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter and which one would be the better fit. Right now, again, I think it comes down to which one does fall. The Patriots would be happy to see either one there. But further for Carter, he had that meeting and dinner with the New England staff on Sunday night, toward the facility on Monday, but the Patriots neglected to get into any other specifics about the recent pre-draft visit outside of that in Foxborough. But again, I think really speaks to Abdul Carter being ready to come to New England should he make it past the New York Giants if they decide to select him at number 3 overall. Finally, the dream scenario would be that in the Patriots getting to decide between Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. Again, if there's a 25% chance that Abdul Carter slips past the Giants at 3, and it's probably closer to 10% at this point, there is probably only a 2% chance that Travis Hunter would now slide past the Browns and slide past the Giants to get to 4. However, Travis Hunter did say something on Tuesday that was fairly surprising. He said that he would never play football again if he can't play wide receiver and cornerback in the NFL. Now, that's not to say what the Cleveland Browns want to see him do, or if they're going to lock him into one side or do a smaller package or whatever it is. But if Travis Hunter and his agents don't like what they're hearing from the team that's going to draft him, and that comes to playing time and where he's going to be on which side of the ball, there's a good chance you could see a John Elway situation. There could be an Eli Manning situation where they force a trade to get to a team that says, we will let you do this. We will let you make an impact on both sides of the ball. Now, again, this would be a very minuscule chance because I think whichever team is lucky enough to draft Travis Hunter would be very unwise not to let him take advantage of both sides of the ball. Travis Hunter went on to say, it's never playing football again because I've been doing this my whole life. I feel like I could dominate on each side of the ball. This lines up with what Travis Hunter has said for the past 2 months. And again, just reiterates that this is the path that he wants to be on. But again, if teams in front of the Patriots say, we like the fire, we like the desire, we like the energy, we like the passion, but we need to lock you into one playbook, one side of the ball and go, there is a dream scenario where it does unfold where the Patriots either get their option of picking these players like they would if they were at number 1. Again, a very small percentage, but surprising comments at the very least from potentially the number 1 prospect in this NFL draft. Finally, we wrap up with a surprising retirement and one that we had earmarked for a potential starting role for the New England Patriots if they decided to go that route. Tyron Smith, the longtime Dallas Cowboy and last year with the New York Jets, has officially announced his retirement. 13 years in the NFL, a 5-time All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler, and just dominating at times at that left tackle position. Again, I think the Patriots probably had discussions with Tyron Smith and probably offered a sizable amount of money, but at the end of the day, kudos to Tyron for listening to his body and deciding when his time in the NFL has come to an end. He will indeed sign a 1-day contract with the Dallas Cowboys eventually and retire as one of the all-time greats for that organization as well. A bit of a surprising thing because he is passing on a good deal of money still on the table, and a tough one for the Patriots as they could have had a very veteran and stabilizing presence. Now, obviously not at the level that he was previously, but again, if you have any questions about what the top rookies in this draft are, whether that be Kelvin Banks, Connerly, Membu, Campbell, anybody, Tyron Smith could at least be a teacher at that level and set the tone for it. Again, this probably pits more towards the Patriots, leaning more towards taking Will Campbell at number 4 overall. And for the past week or so, myself and a lot of other Boston media pundits are saying expect to see this happen. And it's not just Boston media. Mel Kiper and many other of the NFL draft gurus are saying the same now, where the Patriots want to take best available. Will Campbell is one of the best football players in this draft class. It fills a need, and it gives you one of the best at the number 4 and around in the top 10, based upon a draft that there really isn't a huge difference between 4 and 24 in this draft. So you might as well get the player that is going to be put in a position to succeed. Again, it wouldn't be shocking that if in the next week the Patriots do fall in love with a Jalen Walker type, but I think more and more with news like Tyron Smith, why things haven't come to fruition, why there hasn't been more offensive line signings, is because the Patriots kind of do see a plan put in place. There was nothing from Mike Vrabel in his press conference on Tuesday to say, they're looking at bringing in other free agents at this time, that they're looking to, take reaches in the NFL draft. They want to find, players that are going to succeed and excel. Mike Vrabel went so far as to say, having a bunch of good guys isn't going to get it done. You need to have talent at the end of the day. And it's not up for debate whether Will Campbell has talent. It's where that talent is best utilized, whether it's tackle and guard. And guess what? The Patriots have needs at both of those spots. So at the very least, the Patriots will draft a starter at number 4. Who that is does remain to be seen, but the betting money now really does go on Will Campbell. That'll do it for us on this episode. Again, make sure you get down and subscribe for our channel. Let us know if you think Will Campbell is the right decision for the Patriots in this draft class, and make sure you go back and check out our previous episodes. We'll continue to have it all as it unfolds as we creep closer to next Thursday. Fight on, Foxborough.